April 2024 in Koloin, Kapir Sub-County, in Kapir constituency of Ngora district. Our sister Sarah Eperu Tino succumbed to a kidney-related illness in Kampala. On behalf of the FDC family, both locally and internationally, I extend our sincere condolences to the Eperu family upon the loss of their beloved daughter and mother, grandmother, Sarah Eperu. She was a remarkable politician and a journalist of high standing, and one of the founding leaders of the party. Until her passing, she served as the party branch chairman, secretary, general secretary of Kapir constituency in Ngora district, and had before been the chairperson of the FDC in Ngora district. She held different positions, various positions, including being the former deputy spokesperson, the party branch chairperson for Ngora district, and party national women league spokesperson. We honor her commitment and resilience in building a better Uganda, dating back to 1989, when she, is this problem somewhere? It's a phone that is disrupting communication. Massacre of 69 individuals, including her relatives, in the train wagon in Okunguro, in Mukura, of the then Kumi, happened. Sarah Eperu began to oppose the current regime. We had hoped that Sarah Eperu would be buried in an organized and peaceful manner. So even as our thoughts and prayers go to the Eperu family and the people of Ngora, we feel extremely disappointed that chaos ensued at her funeral. We are concerned about the behavior of our colleagues who have now settled down in Katonga to oppose the FDC party, who attempted to politicize the funeral of our sister Sarah Eperu Tino. They transported a group of people from Kampala, Wakiso, from Bunyoro, from Ankole, from Jinja, and Iganga, purportedly to provide security at the function, but ended up humiliating mourners by conducting body searches and turning away individuals wearing shirts with a portrait of the Ngora woman member of parliament, the Honorable Apollo Isodo Stella. They showed no regard whatsoever for the sanctity of the Catholic Holy Mass, which was being conducted at the function. They kept moving around and causing tension among mourners. At that stage, mourners questioned the intention of these individuals at the funeral. Even their purpose, if their purpose was to provide security for Colonel Besigye, it should be noted that Dr. Kiza Besigye was not in any danger, and that there was a presence of police to ensure peace and security of all mourners. The action by the vigilantes angered mourners, particularly FDC grassroots leaders from Teso. Their disruptions attracted the attention of officers in charge of the officer in charge of Koloin police station, who instructed them at least to sit down or leave the area. I must say at this point that Dr. Kiza Besigye had all the times he went to Teso been received warmly. And I can attest to this, coming from the region and working with Dr. Kiza Besigye for the last 20 years. That at any time in his engagement with the Teso community, he had never come under attack, or his security had never been compromised in any way. The resistance of the group that composed of muscular bouncers, trained kanyamas, towards the security even angered mourners further, and our leaders further, causing the proceedings to be halted, with the parish priest, Monsignor Reverend Father John Eriao, concluding prayers with a final prayer before the body was taken to the graveyard. As the FDC believe that this chaos was instigated by Dr. Kiza Besigye, who deliberately undermined the representatives of the people, including the woman member of parliament, Honorable Stella Isodo, and the national leadership of the FDC. We are also extremely uncomfortable by certain statements that were made by our founding president, beginning from the church service at St. Jude, Naguru, where he said that I am not his leader, that his leader is Lukwago. And this is recorded in the media. We can only have one president of the FDC at any one time. The matter of leadership was resolved in the National Delegates Conference that sat at Lugogo on the 6th of October, 2023. I cannot impose myself to be the leader of Dr. Kiza Besigye, but I can speak with authority that whoever does not believe that I am a leader of the FDC indirectly says they are not members of the FDC. Dr. Kiza Besigye can have his own choice of leader. But I dare to say he cannot and will be never allowed to impose any leader on the FDC party. Never. That one I have to be categorical about, and that the leaders of FDC will always be elected and recognized in a manner as is stated within the Constitution of the Republic, the Constitution of the FDC. As a party, we condemn the unfortunate events of Saturday, the 13th, where the burial of the late Sare Peru was heavily politicized, and yet should have been a solemn occasion to remember and to give the final goodbyes to the Honorable Sare Peru. Some people wanted to take advantage of the situation to gain politically in the region, and we didn't allow this. Disregarding the efforts of the local organizing committee led by the woman MP for Ngora district, the Honorable Apolot Stella Isodo. All the arrangements for the funeral were meticulously planned by this committee, which had worked tirelessly since Sarah passed away last week, only to be disrupted by the Katonga team on the day of the burial. The leadership of the party was also accused of stealing Sarah's body. And we really want to take offense at the way in which our MPs, the Honorable Bwalu, who is here, the Honorable Alobo, and the Honorable Isodo, and our Secretary General, Nathanand Mafabi, were accused of the unthinkable. Stealing a body of our sister, a dead body of the niece of Nandala Mafabi, just because our friends in Katonga were so mean to Sare Peru and failed to engage funeral services, that we moved in to engage when the situation was becoming desperate. If they couldn't produce 9.5 million shillings for funeral services, and yet they have money to run around the country politicking, how then can they prove to this nation that they actually treasured the work, the hard work of Sare Peru, and that their association with her was beyond politics? We would like to urge Colonel Kiza Besigye to refrain from using force and violence for political gain. You have seen a clip circulating today where somebody called Jennifer Nalongo Karunji, who was part of the chaos in Ngora, in Koloin, mobilized the overrunning of our office in Masindi and the public banning of posters belonging to the President, the Treasurer General, the Secretary General, and the condemnation of our party chairman, the Honorable Jack Sabiti. All this is financed by the Katonga Group. something that they should extremely be embarrassed about, and something that we will not tolerate as the FDC leadership. We continue to hold Sarah's family, particularly her children, in our prayers and wish that her soul rests in peace. We also promise, as an organization, to pursue the cause that Sarah pursued and was not able to achieve during the time of her life. Finally, but before that, also to thank our Secretary General, Nanda Mafabi James, Nathan, for being magnanimous in providing medical care to Sarah Peru as she was journeying the path of her sickness. And her sickness, she started getting attacks since the year 2015. She had to go through expensive medication that many times had to be procured from overseas, from Britain, America, and the rest of Europe. Would also like to appreciate him for providing for Sarah's upkeep for a long, long time. And so, any sensible person would never accept the narrative that Sarah Peru wasn't helped during her time of need, and that we in the FDC chose to steal her body. And I don't know to take it where, really. This is the greatest insult we have ever received in our 20 years of existence. On the consultations being conducted by our friends in Katonga, I would like to say that the formation in Katonga is not an organ of the FDC. Neither is it an appendage of the FDC. And therefore, in our eyes, whereas Dr. Kiza Besigye and his group of adorers are free to run around the country to do whatever they want, they have not been authorized by the organs of the party to conduct business on behalf of the party. And so anybody dealing with them, deal with them at their own risk and probably peril. In recent weeks, we've witnessed our colleagues traveling the country to consult on the following four issues. Number one, the possibility of the formation of a new political party or pressure group. Number two, forming their own pressure group, joining existing pressure groups and all political organizations. Number 3, reconciling with the party leadership. And number 4, using outright or raw force to take over these premises. The FDC party has no issues with any member leaving FDC to establish a new political party or formation, or even inheriting another political organization. The Uganda Constitution guarantees this freedom under Article 29, 1E, which states, and I quote, open quote, "Every person shall have the right to freedom to form and join associations or unions, including trade unions and political and other civic organizations." Close of quote. Additionally, within the FDC, there is freedom of entry and freedom of exit. Our colleagues operating at Katonga Road as a pressure group have the option to develop into a fully fledged political organization if they desire, as we do not coerce anybody to stay in the FDC. They will not be the first group to leave the party to form new ones. We have the vivid example of the Honorable Betty Olive Namisango Kamia Turomwe, a key founding leader who left the FDC and chose to form a new party, the Uganda Federal Alliance, in 2020. We outlived her absence and we continue to march on. Our former party president, Honorable Major General Retired Gregory Mugisha Muntu, together with a host of members of parliament and other leaders who left the FDC to form the Alliance for National Transformation in 2019, will therefore not be worried at all. We will not lose sleep even a single day if Dr. Kiza Besigye and his accomplices decided to move out of this organization called FDC in 2024. He was leader of the FDC and voluntarily decided to leave in 2012. He has been passively resisting the leadership in Najanankumbi for 4 years now. But the party has remained true to its mission and vision, and we will continue marching even without him and his group. We would like to say that anybody having the intention to use violence to overrun the leadership in Najanankumbi as a method that now seems to be gaining traction by our colleagues needs to think a second time. We will not tolerate anyone using force to remove legally elected party leaders from the headquarters. If they resort to violence, it will be met by an appropriate response. Violence will not be tolerated by us, and our friends need to know that nobody has a monopoly of violence. This will be addressed decisively. We have been promised and threatened with such attacks many times, such as the Tuja, or Tuja. But it has become a familiar refrain from our colleagues. They are free to do what they wish, but it's our duty to defend the party.